Today, I am your teacher Anton to help you and to guide in solving math. Now, this is the continuation of the part 2, which is the lesson 1, pattern, arithmetic sequence, and series, week 1 and 2. Today, I will discuss the two activities that determine the first 5 terms of letter B sequence. Solve for the n term of each sequence. Number 1 question, a sub n is equals to the power of n plus 1. A sub 1 equals 2 to the power of 1, which is a sub n, and is the power is the value of 1. So now substitute the n equals 1. So 2 to the power of 1, 1 plus 1, 2 times 2, 4. So the first term or the a sub 1 is 4. So now let's proceed to a sub 2, which is the second term. The value of n is equals to 2. 2, which is the given, then to the power of 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Use the law of exponent. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. So the second term is 8. Now, a sub 3. What is the value of n? Equals 3. So 2 to the power of 3 plus 3 1. Plus 1, 4. Law of exponent, 2 to the power of 4 equals 16. So the third term is 16. So say a sub 4. What is the value of n? Is equals to 4. 2 to the power of 4 plus 1. 2, 4 plus 1, 5. So 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5 equals to 32. So the fourth term is 32. A sub 5, which is the last term that I need to find. N is equals to 5 since a sub 5. 2 to the power of 5 plus 1. 2. 5 plus 1 equals 6. Law of exponent, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is it 6? It's because the 2 has the power of 6. So now 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. 32 times 2 equals 64. So the fifth term is 64. So now the first 5 terms, the first term is 4. So we have 4 the first term, and the second term is equals to 8. So the second term is 8. And then the third term is equals to 16. 16. And the fourth term is equals to 32. And the fifth term equals to 64. So we have now the first 5 terms. So 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. So now let's proceed from question number 2. What is the value of n? Equals 1. So a sub 1. 1, negative 2 to the power of 1. 1, open parenthesis, Negative 2 to the power of 1 equals negative 2. Positive 1 times negative 2 equals negative 2. So the first term, or a sub 1, is equals to negative 2. Sub 2. So the value of n is equals to 2. So 2, open parenthesis, negative 2 to the power of negative 2 to the power of 2 is equals to negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is equals to negative 8. So the second term is equals negative 8. A sub 3. The value of n is equals to 3. So 3, negative 2 to the power of 3. The answer of negative 2 to the power of 3 is negative 8. Why is it negative? Because from negative 2 to the power of 3, or open parenthesis, negative 2 and close parenthesis and the power of 3. So from close parenthesis, only 2 has the power of 3. But from here, another example is negative 2 close parenthesis to the power of 3. All the numbers inside in the parenthesis or sign has a power of 3. But here, only 2 has the power of 3. So that's why the answer here is negative 2 to the power of 3 is negative 8. But here, negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals, what is the answer? Negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 equals negative 8 again. So it has the same. How about in negative 2 the power of 2 from negative 2 to the power of 2? So what is the difference? So negative 2 times negative 2, since all the numbers inside the parentheses or sign has the power of 2. So times equals negative 2 times negative 2 equals positive 4. How about here? Only 2 has the power of 2, but negative has no power of 2, only 2. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Since the given is negative, so copy the negative. So the answer here is equals to negative 4, which is negative 2 to the power of 2. But here, negative 2 close open parenthesis and close parenthesis to the power of 2 is equals to positive 4. So that is the difference of the exponents. When the exponent is outside from the parentheses, the answer is difference from the exponent is inside the parentheses. Understand? Now proceed. So 3 times negative 8 is equals to negative 24. So the third term is negative 24. How about a sub 4? Or the value of n equals 4. 4, open parenthesis, negative 2 to the power of 4. So as I said, 2 only has the power of 4. 4. 2 times 2, 4 times 2 equals 4 times 2 equals 8. 8 times 2 equals 16. How many 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 16. So equals negative 16. So 4 times negative 16 is equals to negative 64. So the fourth term is negative 64. How about a sub 5? N is equals to 5. 5, open parenthesis, negative 2 to the power of 5. Negative 5, 2 to the power of 5 is equals to negative 32. So 5 times negative 32 is equals to negative 160. So the a sub 5 or the fifth term is negative 160. So the first 5 term from the first term is negative, and the a sub 2 or the second term is negative 8, and the third term or a sub 3 is equals to negative 24. Fourth term or a sub 4 is equals to negative 64, and the a sub 5 or the fifth term, which is negative 160. So we have a first 5 terms, which is negative 2, negative 8, negative 24, negative 64, and negative 160. So now let's proceed from next activity. Solve for the n term of each sequence. From the first question, observe the sequence. What is the pattern of this sequence? You need to identify or predict what is the common of this sequence. Numbers has a negative. So your n term has negative, since all the numbers has negative from the first term to the fifth term has their own negative. So now identify the fraction. The sequence has a fraction and have a whole number. The fraction here is negative 1/4, negative 9/4, and negative 25/4. So from the fraction has a denominator of 4. Have you seen a denominator of 4 from each fractions? So do you think this n term is a fraction? Yes, because the sequence has a fraction. So the denominator is 4. Since all the fractions has 4, and all the fractions or all the numbers of this sequence has negative, so that's why we have a negative. So now let's find out the n. So let's try that the numerator has n. So now let's find if your n term is correct. Do we know that your answer is correct? First, let's try to substitute a sub 1. If your a sub 1 is the first term and your a sub 1 is the value is negative 1/4, this n term is correct. If your a sub 2 is the value is negative 1, so your n term is correct. Let's try to predict and recognize if your n term is correct. Since in n is equals to 1, so all n is equals to 1. Negative 4, n is 1. What is the value of a sub 1? It's negative 1/4. From the first term, negative 1/4. So a sub 1 is correct. How about if a sub 2? Let's try if it is correct. So n is equals to 2. Negative over 4. N is 2. Negative 2, 4. From the given is negative 1. So it's not correct. So let's try to simplify by the part 2 over 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 4 divided by 2, 2. So your a sub 2 is 1/2. But the given here is negative 1. So it is wrong. So we need to identify again and analyze until we recognize the correct answer of this sequence. If your n term is not correct, so it is we have or lacking. So what do you think is the lacking? So let's try to predict that n has the power of 2. What do you think is your answer is? Negative n to the power of 2 over 4. So let's try the trial and error. A sub 1, n is equals to 1. Negative n is 1 and the power of 2 over 4. Negative 1 to the power of 2 is 1 over 4. So a sub 1 is correct because your first term is negative 1/4 and the given here is negative 1/4. Now let's proceed to a sub 2. N is equals to 2. Negative 2 to the power of 2 over 4. Negative 2 to the power of 2 equals 4 over 4. Negative 4 divided by 4, 1. So your a sub 2 or the second term is negative 1. So from the given, correct. It is negative 1. So now proceed to a sub 3 and equals 3. Negative 3 to the power of 2 over 4. Negative 3 to the power of 2, 9 over 4. You can simplify 9 over 4? No. So a sub 3, the third term is correct because negative 9 over 4 from the given is negative 9 over 4. So correct. So now let's proceed to a sub 4. N equals to 4. Negative 4 to the power of 2 over 4. Negative 4 to the power of 2 equals 16 over 4. Let's simplify. Negative 16 over 4 divided by 4 over 4. If your fraction is need to simplify, simplify it. If the fraction cannot be simplified, don't simplify. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4. Now 4 divided by 4 equals 1, and 4 divided by 1 equals 4. So your a sub 4 is equals to 4, or negative. Don't forget the negative because the given is negative here. So your answer is correct because negative 4 is the given. So now proceed to a sub 5, the final. This is the time that your answer is correct if the a sub 5 is the given is negative 25 over 4. So let's try. This is the last judgment that your n term is correct. Negative over 5 to the power of 2 over 4. Negative 5 to the power of 2 equals 25 over 4. 25 over 4, can you simplify? No. So a sub 5 equals negative 25 over 4 is the final answer. So a sub 5 is negative 25 over 4. So from your given is negative 25 over 4. So your n term is correct. So this is the formula to find the next term of the sequence. From the earlier that I gave the example is the given is the formula, but you need to identify the first 5 terms. But this activity, the given is the sequence or the first 5, but you need to identify what is the formula of this sequence. So from solve for the n term, so this is called the n term or the formula of this sequence to identify the next figure or the specific pattern of this sequence. So now let's proceed to question number 2. So what have you observed from this sequence? So all the numbers is positive. All the numbers is, there is no whole number, there is no negative. So now from this situation, if whole number or positive or negative, you need to identify the common difference. How to find the common difference? The second term, subtract from the first term. So 12 minus 5, 19 minus 12 equals 7. 26 minus 19 equals 7. So the common difference here is 7. Since the common difference is 7, so and the first, and then I will give you the formula. E sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1. So D. As I advise or technique or strategy to find the n term of this kind of question, if the sequence is easy to identify the common difference, my advice is use this formula to identify and easy to find the end term of this question. This formula will guide you to identify the correct answer. If you can identify the common difference of the sequence, use this formula to
What is
find
the value of
a
answer?
sub 1? What is the a sub 1? The first term. So a sub 1, which is the first term from the sequence, is the first term is 5. So a sub 1 is 5. A sub 1 is 5 plus n minus 1. Then what is the value of d, or the common difference? 7. No need to substitute the n, because from this question you need to identify the n term. Plus 7 times n equals 7n. 7 times negative 1 equals negative 7. Find the like terms. So since the 5 is whole number and the 7 is no variable, negative 7 is no variable, then you can add or subtract. So since 5 minus 7 equals 2. So 7 and minus 2. Why is minus? What is the sign of the greater number? Then follow the sign. So that's why 7 and minus 2. So en, or a sub n, is 7n minus 2. So this is the formula to identify or to figure out the next pattern of this sequence. How would you know that your n term is correct or your formula is correct? So let's try to a sub 3, which is the third term. Let's try if the value of third term is 19. So you will use this formula. What is the value of n? Equals 3. Since a sub 3, 7 times 3 minus 2. 7 times 3 equals 21 minus 2. 21 minus 2 equals 19. So a sub 3, or the third term, is 19. So this is now checking. This is the end term that we need to give the answer of this arithmetic sequence. So another example. Yes, okay, I will give you the last examples that I will give. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. Now I give you, as I said, if the sequence is easy to identify the common difference, use the formula. So do you remember what is the formula that I give? E sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 d. What is the common difference? The common difference here is 3. So d equals 3. And the first term is 5. Since 5. So 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 3, 14. 14 plus 3, 17. So the common difference of this sequence is 3. And the a sub 1, or the first term, is 5. So now, a sub n, what is the value of a sub 1? 5. Open parenthesis, n minus 1. Close parenthesis, what is the value of d? 3. 3 times n, 3n. 3 times negative 1, negative 3. Like terms, the whole numbers has no variables, so you can add or subtract. So remain 3n, negative 3, and 5 is you need to add or subtract. Since difference, so subtract. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. It is positive because greater number. What is the sign of the greater number? Follow the sign. Since 5 is the greater and the sign of 5 is 5, so plus 2. So a sub n equals 3n plus 2. So this is the formula that you will use to identify the next figure of this sequence. Thank you. Hopefully that I can help you for your math.